Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Things were kicking off on the timeline last night. Crimsix going rogue up against Florida and Seattle for some of their performances in scrims over the last 24 hours, but also OpTic with an all-important Showmatch series victory up against Los Angeles Thieves. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting that like button is the best thing you can do. Tell this channel reach new people. And please consider subscribing as well if you have not yet already. Firstly, this from Doug. Of course, yesterday we talked about the very likely possibility, it seems at this point, the Boston might come through as that 12th league spot for the CDL in 2022. Crim kind of backed Doug and said, yes, Center should get this spot in the league. And well, Center comes out with the following, gonna run a goal extra mile today. Kind of the classic from him. This also I wanted to mention as well, though, because last night, we discussed, okay, CDL, like, they're getting a bit lazy with the kind of, the bundles they're putting in the game, the team skins and stuff like that. And Hex seemed to indicate that the team skins are coming relatively soon. Now, this is described right here by Seabass. CDL Run It Back bundle coming in on the 18th of December in just 3 days' time. So, what is this potential bundle, right? Is this anything to do with the CDL skins and stuff like this? I kind of thought, honestly, they might wait for the 12th team to be confirmed and have their branding, all that stuff sorted out, but maybe they were so unconvinced that actually we would get a 12th team. Maybe it's still not by no means confirmed, right, that we are going to get this. That, maybe they thought, okay, let's just run it with 11 and actually have all the 11 team skins or something in the game. Now, as Hex was kind of saying yesterday, look, Nadeshot was particularly frustrated that, like, 100 Thieves was nowhere to be found on the team skin. It was just, like, the colors that kind of go along with 100 Thieves, or Atlanta FaZe, or Los Angeles Thieves, of course, but, an OpTic, their colors, right? But no logos on the camos or the weapons and this type of stuff that was kind of frustrating, so maybe they'll do a better job here. This is earlier, if it comes in now, than it was last year, to their credit, so hopefully they'll actually be better than last year's as well, because I think a copy and paste from last year would be kind of frustrating, I think, to a lot of people, but maybe they can upgrade them over time. This I also wanted to mention, because Dr. Disrespect wasn't messing around when he said that he was going to create a new AAA game studio. Like, he's done it, it's called Midnight Society. Also really cool here, because I'm pretty sure that, like, one of the head guys here is Robert Bowling. You guys might remember Robert Bowling from, like, the Infinity War days at FU Last Stand. He's that guy. Now, if you're OGs, I suppose. And anyway, he's going to be heading up this development team. So people are wondering, like, okay, what's Dr. Disrespect going to be up to right here? Like, could he pull off anything that actually could compete with, well, what is coming out from these actual AAA game studios? Like, obviously, they've been maybe falling off the pace somewhat in terms of how good their games are that they've been producing. Dr. Disrespect, if you guys don't know, was involved with the Sledgehammer team when, I'm pretty sure he made, or at least he was one of the map designers that was involved in creating Solar, so Solar, Search and Destroy Hardpoint. That was a great map back in Advanced Warfare. There was a few other ones I imagine as well he was involved with creating, so definitely knows what he's doing. And well, as Clay says in reply right here, need any consulting, right? So maybe, like, Clayster comes in and says, look, this is what you need to make, like, this is the type of game that we would like to see, and maybe that can even compete with Call of Duty to some degree. I don't really know, but could be a new beginning really in the esports world if Dr. Disrespect does this right. Thought it was cool enough to mention regardless. Also, this from Zuma, sources are telling me a big announcement is coming this week. Expect another episode of The Flank. So we shall see what this might potentially be. Now, there's two things that seem kind of likely here. Firstly, the 12th spot. What's going on there? Is that going to get confirmed? Like, is that coming very soon indeed? Of course, they're given on the 18th. Apparently, we're getting this CDL team bundle. Like, they probably won't have the 12th team stuff ready by then, but still, who knows, right? The other alternative is that it's something to do with the CDL, well, effectively just the format for the season, right? Maybe the CDL come out and say, okay, this is what we're doing, X, Y, Z, and we can talk through whether that's a good idea or a bad idea, right? As we kind of have been when it kind of got leaked a little bit ago now. So maybe something like that going on a relatively large scale over the coming days. This also from OpTic Texas last night. There was that show match we talked about, OpTic versus Los Angeles Thieves. The full rosters were playing, something that I didn't really think was possible because of the CDL basically want to just wait until February or January or whatever to actually see these teams play up on a main stage. But yes, they win this show match Gunner series against Los Angeles Thieves. It was kind of interesting, right? Like, I think it was pretty much all search and destroy. Some people weren't too happy about that. They hoped there was some respawn thrown in there as well. And there was some weird third game modes going on where, like, both teams had a veteran bot or something, and the Codcasters kind of messed up. It's a strange situation. But yeah, it was relatively entertaining regardless. I think most people would have hoped maybe it was a slightly more competitive series just because, at the end of the day, it's a show match. These guys aren't really going to try at their highest level. Like, they were just playing this for fun, of course, as you might well expect. But Envoy with a nice little 1v2 here with some nice shots.
Who's last? Comps.
Still, Assassin.
It's their depths. He's right here in this corner. I think he's in this corner. Ready? We should run on him. Ready?
Oh my god, yo.
Beat his ass. Beat his ass. Beat his ass.
Yo, Andrew,
Sit the down.
He auto aimed him through the wall in the corner.
I like that.
That guy's mad.
Like that.
God, we just imagine we all just ran up on him. He was so shocked.
Look at it, yo, we just whipped his ass.
This I thought was also kind of funny. At 1-0 in the biggest show match of 2022 preseason, because of course that game one they managed to win, and the power completely cuts off. That was why there were some delays. OpTic is out to get us. You're about to be down 4-0, he says. I think you're doing stuff over there to get a replay of some sort. Need an official ruling on this for sure. Quad LA host. We had streaks. Inder wasn't losing a gunny. As the elder of the team, he says, I'll make the executive decision to take that one for the boys in green at 4-0, he says straight up. So yeah, unlucky Envoy, no replay for you, I suppose. But well, still, definitely a good rivalry, I think, this season for sure. Like Envoy, of course, going to Los Angeles Thieves. Octane's over there as well. They, of course, haven't been scrimming quite as long as some of the other top teams have. At least, well, some of the teams that have had the greatest results in scrim so far. But yeah, just so many exciting matchups and storylines for this upcoming season. It's just a shame we have to wait so long, frankly, to actually see them getting played. This then from Crimsix, because, well, he's been going off on the main stage the last few days. Firstly, this last night. So the funny thing is really about this to me is that Crimsix has kind of been considered, I'm pretty sure he was considered last year the number 2 scrim chalker in the game, or like time torture, right? So, you know, this guy is going out to smoke a cigarette or whatever, turns up late to scrims, like he's going to be late to this scrim, that scrim, all this type of stuff. And I remember we said something along the lines of when he was getting dropped this year for, like, he was getting dropped off Dallas, of course, because it was combining to become OpTic Texas, that he was getting dropped for the number 1 time torture, which of course would be Dashy, at least in his mind. Now, of course, it's kind of funny really to see he's getting pretty frustrated with other teams kind of wasting time with this type of stuff. He's gone for the kind of XQC full caps tweets here. Florida Mutineers were late to a scrim and chalked it. I cannot believe it. Unacceptable behavior in a professional league. Make Reddit threads, send it to YouTubers. That was successful. DM Spinner Spencer calls over the league side. Call out the police for this crime, he says. Of course, yeah, the police, Crimsix, like to dress up in that cop outfit. We'll have a look here in a second, even though he probably hasn't done that for quite some time, but it's still a funny meme to hit the timeline as well. So yes, Mutineers not turning up on time, and yeah, maybe not a massive surprise really, given Crimsix has done this stuff in the past. Thought this is funny really from the academy. You won't believe this, Pat. Like, I got done dirty by former teammate Reese Vivid, and the guy that does TikTok dances, I suppose, at being Caesar Skyz. Now, this is just a cracking meme, to be honest. I mean, look at it. It's just phenomenal stuff. Definitely a lot of use potential for this one over the upcoming days. So I guess this is like the 100 Thieves Legend show match they did a week or so ago now. This also gets Spinner Spence comes in the replies, reporting for GT ready to take action. This is kind of that image I was talking about here from a while ago now, which always hits the tunnel when something like this goes on. There also was a follow-up here as well against Seattle, because I mean, yeah, this is a new one here today, boys. I've never seen this in my day. Seattle up 2-0 on scrims versus us, and my in-game trash talk is too strong that Lamar and Video, yeah, you know, you guys can read it, decides to rage quit. Just mute me, take off your headset, look away, bro. So yeah, he reckons that, yeah, they're up 2-0, these Seattle guys, and then like Crim's talking so much trash, these guys straight up rage quit the scrim and get out of there as well. Now at Seattle, to their credit, have been looking really good here so far, at least in scrims, in the early part here of Vanguard, and you know, New York Subline has been looking okay. I'm pretty sure they went down 1-0 yesterday to the rumoured 12th team, or at least Zinni's team right now, of Paul X, TJ Halley, and Venom, and then they brought it all the way back to win 7-1 in that scrim set. So yes, they're down 2-0 in this scrim set. Then Lamar, you know, accuracy that being, of course, decides to rage quit for whatever reason. Kind of tough to say what Crimsix is on about half the time, because I mean, this guy's going completely rogue. It's tough to even you know, try and figure out what goes through this guy's head at times. Like I can't imagine what it's like living inside of it. But yeah, accuracy says you wouldn't want to take your black suit off, because I guess he was wearing some sort of like a camo or like outfit in the game or something. That might potentially be gentleman's agreemented, right? I think Gunless was also talking about some new outfits that are in the game, and generally some of the pro players decide to get rid of some of these things sometimes, because maybe they're too strong, or like you can't see them so easily compared to other things. So accuracy was like, okay, you know, you were talking trash, but like you wouldn't take this outfit off, right? Like, you know, what's going on there? And Simps guy had a ghillie suit on, he says, so kind of saying, look, maybe that shouldn't be allowed either. And something else of an interesting nature on his head. My bad, bro. I thought he wanted to get freaky, so I brought out the black latex for show you a hella board. And you know, Crim's like, yeah, fair enough. So yeah, I mean, remarkable chain of events really here. Crimsix just can't be stopped, to be honest. But it's kind of interesting, really, seeing that some of these outfits, potentially the black suit or whatever that is, the ghillie suit, like the pros not particularly happy about players using it in scrims. That might be why accuracy decided to call off the scrim if Crimsix isn't going to stop using this, you know, black outfit or whatever that maybe is going to get GA'd in competitive play. Of course, I guess in the pro rule set, they'll just be using the default skins, because I mean, what they did last year at least is they had to use all the default stuff, I'm pretty sure, and then like well, the actual CDL camos and stuff would get overlaid on that in like like post After Effects. I'm not really sure how they even did that, to be honest. I guess they'll manage to do that again this year as well, but with all the, well, whatever CDL skins actually arrive into the game, maybe in 3 days time, if that bundle is anything to be believed. This also from Clayster I thought was kind of interesting, just the fact that he was asking really who are the top subs in challenges right now. Lots of good answers here really. Vortex, Pentagram for sure from the European and then the North American region. A load of names here certainly. I think this is a good way really for Clayster to keep up with what's going on in the scene, but also maybe he wants to pick someone up at some point or another, because at the end of the day, New York I guess have got to think about picking up a substitute player for their team, which is by no means confirmed for a lot of these rosters what that is going to be at the present time. This also, just I thought I mentioned really here, given we're on the discussion of gentlemen's agreements, some talk right now about the unofficial bans and GAs list version 6 that Fortrix comes out and does right here, that being Chase. Now, the STG44 has been GA'd due to issues with Vital. That's not everywhere though, that's just I believe right now in Europe and also Latin America. So not yet officially GA'd in North America, but it may only be a matter of time, to be honest, until that happens, just because there's issues with people not being able to realize if someone's actually using something that's banned on the weapon. But I think the STG and the meta honestly could be kind of good. Not sure how long the auto is going to stay, to be honest, in the competitive meta, if pros are going to GA it or whatever the case might be. This also I wanted to look at as well, because as Clay says, Paco's going home to France on Friday, so maybe with Hydra going home, maybe that's why Clayster's thinking about picking up some of these challenger subs or whatever, just maybe they need to have a guy to sub in or something to see how things go. Do I full send Raleigh or what's up? Yo Carbon and Abel think we can find a +1 and a team pass, he says. So definitely, a lot of the Call of Duty pros, some of them have actually gone to Halo and started competing there again, the likes of Formal, but other guys are actually interested in attending this HCS Raleigh event this upcoming weekend, just to compete and have a good time, or even just to attend and just watch and kind of get the vibes really of that kind of open environment. And as Rated says, say the words, I'll get wounded open, he says. Are you allowed to play? Shotzi said he couldn't because of the CDL. We can't go as New York subline as Clayster, or even really as Clayster, but nobody is stopping Yalk from running the open bracket, right? So I guess, he takes Clay, sends it backwards. So, apparently you can't go as your own name, because you're a CDL pro and you can't, compete in other esports, but if you compete under a different name, that's perfectly fine. So maybe some of these pros will find out a way to do that one. It'd be kind of entertaining to look at. And just to finish off with this from the Call of Duty League, a bit of CDL trivia. This, I didn't think was worded as well as it could possibly have been. Which of these players won during the CDL 2020 season? Now, one could just mean won a series. I'm pretty sure all their teams won a series when they were on them, but only one of these players won an actual event during the 2020 season, and that was Classic, because, most people got this wrong, which is understandable really, because it's not particularly memorable, but Asim was on the Minnesota Rokkr that season. They didn't win an event. I'm pretty sure they made a grand finals. Dashi, of course, was on OpTic Gaming Los Angeles, which is tragic, the whole time he was there, and the only time they made a grand finals was against FaZe when Dashi got already dropped from the team. The only one he therefore won was Classic on the Toronto Ultra, because they won their own home series, I'm pretty sure, basically the final home series of the season with Methods and the guys. So yeah, Classic was the answer to this one. But yeah, very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hitting that like button tells the YouTube gods this is a good video, and looks like you should see it as well, and I'll grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thanks for watching as always, take care, and I will see you next time.